All right. My journey to write was a bit atypical to say the least. I really came in kicking and screaming. This isn't something that I had intended on doing initially. Personal growth and development was something that my fiance Jessica had focused on. It was this really neat thing, also a little strange. I didn't know what to expect, but she convinced me that it would be good for me. So I figured I'd give it a try. Initially, when I signed up, I kind of considered it to be an act of service to show Jess how much I cared and loved her and cared about our relationship. But I found out that this was really a common theme that was going on in my life, where I was always doing these acts of services for everyone else. And what I had was I created a life around me that I didn't really want. I didn't know at that time that it was okay to want more for myself. So things really started to get good for me in the personal power quarter. So at that time, I started listening to that little voice inside of me that liked to participate in a whole lot of self beat up. So basically, what I did was I learned to have compassion for myself. I learned to be sweet to myself and really enjoy just being with myself. And that's still a tool that I continue to use to this day, and I plan on using for the rest of my life. And the next quarter was purposeful living and spirituality, and this was kind of scary because it's a time to sit and think about, my purpose in life. And I didn't really know what I wanted at that time, but it was nice because that whole quarter I could reflect on the things that were important to me. I started paying more attention to emotions, and not just the ones that I was used to experiencing, like joy and anger, but the ones that I had bottled up, like my fear, my sadness, and my hurt. And I started to use the emotions as data to help me have my yearnings met. And then my favorite quarter was this past quarter. That was nourishment and self-care. Basically, it was kind of like a final exam. I started using all the different tools that I had learned throughout the year. And I just found myself being more comfortable in my own skin. I started engaging with my group more. I started connecting with my family and my friends on a deeper level. I started speaking up more at work. This past weekend, I actually ended up presenting at a national conference. There were about 80 people in attendance. I felt like I crushed my presentation. Historically, I never would have attempted something like that. So I think that's a testament to the work that I've done this year, and I have a whole lot to be thankful for. I want to extend a great big thank you to my fiance Jessica for talking me into doing this. My life has changed for the better. It's incredible. I'd like to thank both Dr. Bob and Judith Wright. Big thank you goes out to my coach, George Miller, who's been fantastic this entire year. I've learned so much from him. Thanks to all my group leaders and all my classmates. Thanks for opening up. Thanks for sharing. I've learned from you guys. It's been one heck of a ride. So next steps for me is that I plan on continuing my coaching session with George Miller. I plan on continuing on with my couples coaching with Bob and assisting at some of the upcoming weekends. Thanks, guys.